Yo, what's up guys, it's Jack, and in this video we're going to be talking about overcoming adversity. This is pretty much something of a personal subject for me. I'm going to go into a little bit on that, as well as in Call of Duty, because a lot of people with this game, as well as in life, they run into a lot of adversity, whether it's something like this. In this gameplay here, for instance, I chose this one because for the past 5 games or so with this lobby, a lot of these guys were a full team, and basically I just couldn't carry hard enough and get the win, and my teammates were just not helping me out at all. And in this game, that is definitely to be expected, especially when you're playing solo and if you're a good player. And when regardless of whether or not the other team is good, you're just going to run into adversity, and you're just going to run into a lot of things that would make things a little bit harder for you. And that's kind of how life is sometimes. You're not going to get it easy all the time, and you're not always going to succeed in what you are trying to accomplish all the time, whether that's because of your own personal lack of motivation or whether it's because of shit happening in life. And I'm gonna touch a little bit on that in a bit here, but I think this gameplay does a good job of showing that if you stick with it and if you just grind on through, that sooner or later you're going to succeed. But the problem is, how hard are you going to have to grind? How many times are you going to have to fail before you succeed? And sometimes you have to ask yourself, is there a light at the end of the tunnel? I mean, we'd like to say yes, we'd like to say that we're optimistic, but sometimes let's be a little bit realistic. Sometimes it just seems like in life, no matter how hard you try at something, no matter what you try to achieve, it seems like when it rains, it pours. And what that basically means, for those of you guys that may not understand, for those of you that are a little bit younger maybe, what that means is when one thing happens, and then another thing happens, and it just ends up piling up, and it happens at the worst possible minute, and it just seems like there's no light at the end of the tunnel, no matter how hard you try. And realistically, sometimes it is that way. Sometimes it's like we can try over and over and over and over again, and it seems like we're not getting anywhere, and it seems like, oh, maybe this isn't for us, or maybe I wasn't meant to do this, or maybe this isn't for me, or all these different questions, these bad questions kind of start developing in your mind. And it sucks, because the most you can expect out of any person is for them to try their best, really. If somebody let me give you my sense of mentality real quick, okay? If you're doing anything that you're doing, whether you're good at it or not, if you're interested in it, and even if you're not interested in it, but you're trying your best at it, and you're obviously trying to succeed, and you're doing your absolute best to make the most out of it without any bullshit, and you're putting 100% into it, that to me is a win, because that is giving it everything you've got, is the most you can ask out of anybody. And quite frankly, most people don't give everything they have when it comes to anything in life. Actually, a lot of people just don't give it everything, and they think they are, but they're not. But when you truly give it everything, it's what makes the difference. But again, sometimes you just end up asking yourself, is it enough? Or what do I have to do in order to succeed? How many times do I have to fail? And that's basically how it is in this game. And things could have went really differently. I might have not gotten this gameplay. I might have not won at all. I might have just kept on playing and kept on getting frustrated. I mean, who knows? I mean, all these different things end up happening. But the words of comfort are, if you're doing your best, then you should be very proud of that fact. It's simple as that. And a little bit of a personal story of mine, like right now, I am just having a lot of trouble with motivation in my personal life. I'm gonna let you guys in on a little bit, because to be honest, things ended up turning upside down in my world, basically after losing Dad earlier this year. And ever since then, it seems like motivation has gone out the window, and which is kind of normal. I guess a lot of people would classify that as normal, but it's not something that has to occur forever. It's not something that has to keep on going forever. You don't have to be. You have to kind of pick yourself up, because in life, the harsh reality is that, well, you're not always going to have somebody that's going to help pick you up. That's the harsh reality. And the thing is, you're just going to have to dig deep down and pick yourself up, kind of like how you have to dig down and get motivated. Dig down and tell yourself that no, it's not going to be like this. It's going to be better because you make it better. And that's one of the things that my dad personally believed in also, is that you kind of you create your own way, you create your own luck. You know, I mean, even when one of the things he always used to tell me was even though things are bad, he always was a very positive person. He was always somebody that kept on saying better days are coming, better days are coming. And even if he failed, he said to me, he said, hey, at least I try, at least I get up, at least I do this. You know, I don't put my head down, I keep my head up, and I look forward to things getting better and things like that. And that's one of the things that Dad taught me. Now, obviously, when things get really low in life, it's really difficult to kind of think that way or even apply that when things get really low and when at life's lowest moments. But you know, he was definitely right. You can't go through life thinking that way, and you can't really go through life with, you know, a lack of motivation like that. So it's just one of those things that you have to apply yourself and dig yourself out of that hole, so to speak. And it's really difficult, but when it does happen, it's definitely something that is rewarding. And as of right now, it's like they say, when you're lost, you have to go all the way back to the beginning. You have to start over again. Just start over. And that's basically the way it is with me at this point right now. Like I said before, I was a martial arts instructor, and I did it for a very long time, and I went through adversity. I went through my ups and downs, and I had plenty of doubts throughout my career as I was moving up in the ranks, teaching and learning wise. And one of the things my former instructors used to tell me was that you're going to surprise yourself a lot. And the thing is, I constantly put myself up to the plate, and I constantly tried my best, and I was always able to succeed and prove myself wrong in my negative thoughts. You know, because I used to be my own worst. I always used to be my own worst critic, and I still am in some ways, actually. So, and the thing is, I always used to prove myself wrong. Every single time I thought I couldn't do it, all I had to do was basically step up and work at it, and I was able to do it. So, for those of you guys that ever have any doubts about yourself, well, I think the best thing you can do is put yourself to the test, which is what I need to start doing again. And I made this video to kind of help me with that as well. Not just for you guys, obviously, but for me as well. Because if I put this out there, and if I say that I'm going to do something, and if I don't do it, I'll end up being a liar. And that's not who I want to be, and that's not what I'm about. So I need to go back to the beginning. I need to go back to the way things were. I need to start training every single day again. I need to start hitting the gym as well, to hit the weights. That used to be my home away from home. And I need to go back to the beginning again and start again, and kind of build myself up from the ground, because sometimes you just end up going so low that you kind of lose who you are. You're not who you are anymore. And that sucks, because you end up being, it's like you're beaten down both mentally and physically in a sense. But I think we have the capability to bring ourselves back up. Even when there's nobody around to help us, we're ultimately the only ones that make the difference for ourselves. So with that being said, it's the gym opens up in about an hour and a half, and I'm gonna go work out soon after this video gets uploaded. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and this commentary. I hope you enjoyed the gameplay in the background, and if you did, let me know, and if you don't, let me know what I can do to make my videos better, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.